We have a question from a viewer in Hutchinson. It's completely false and untrue that I'm biased in favor of viewers from Hutchinson, even though I lived there for 20 years. Nonetheless, we're going to go to this viewer's question. He's concerned about local government aid. He notes that had Hutchinson received the same amount of local government aid that it received in 2002, the city would not have had to increase the general fund levy. The 2017 levy increase was about 4%. What's going to happen to local government aid? And that leads to the larger question, the tax bill in general. Since you introduced the topic, Representative Drazkowski, let's go to you. Why don't we kick it off with you, see what you can do with the LGA question, but let's talk about the broader tax bill as well.
Yeah, well, I'm chair of the Property Tax Committee in the House, so am kind of the tax bailiwick is one that I'm used to operating in. Local government aid has increased in recent years. Of course, the special interest groups around this, Association of Minnesota Counties and the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities, and I wouldn't be surprised, Barry, if the caller is not one of their members, is actively lobbying for more. And that's what happens here in St. Paul at the Capitol is people come and they want more of the people's money. And many of us believe that the better approach, rather than subsidizing local governments that then may or may not, and history has told us, local governments on the average do not return dollar for dollar that money back in the form of lower property taxes, but instead spend it and increase spending. Instead of that happening, what we are working to do, and don't get me wrong, I would suspect in the end of this session, in the budget period, there may be an increase in local government aid. There was in the tax bill last time, but there is a better way, and that is to provide direct relief to taxpayers and property taxpayers. We had two major property tax reform pieces in the bill last year. I suspect we'll see those two pieces in there this year. One is property tax relief for farmers and their school construction levies. The other is reducing the state general tax for businesses, and the way we structured it is we lowered it for the smallest businesses around Minnesota by starting from the bottom up and exempting the state general tax, which, by the way, is that special state tax, property tax that all businesses pay on top of their local property taxes. There's another one on top of that that goes directly to state government. It's about $1.8 billion per biennium to fund all our numerous and generous programs. So what we're aiming to do is to focus on delivering that money, or at least some of it, back to those businesses by decreasing their property taxes and decreasing it for farmers so that they can have the relief they need. We know, and history shows, when you let people keep their money, they get the full amount of the money back. Although many of our local elected officials do a good job, the propensity is for them to spend it in a variety of ways, and so that's kind of the downside of that. So there will be some resistance to that in the House, but my sense is there probably will be some element of local government aid addition in the final tax bill.
So we've never gained back, the writer is obviously well informed, we've never gained back the position that we lost in 2002 when we gutted local government aid. Local government aid was invented, as part of the Minnesota Miracle. The purpose of local government aid is to make sure that those basic quality of life services that are delivered by local government are roughly equal, so people then can enjoy a roughly similar quality of life, with those essential services that affect our lives on a daily basis. That's our local roads, our public safety services, our parks, our libraries, those sorts of things. And we all know that the property tax is the least progressive. In other words, it's the least related to our ability to pay. And so a lot of pressure in some communities to pay for those local services, and other communities had a lot better opportunity for unique historical and geographic reasons. So local government aid is pretty important. It's important to find the right equilibrium, but it helps make sure that our tax system is more fair and more related to people's ability to pay, and make sure that all communities enjoy a roughly similar quality of life. So I'm glad to hear that we'll probably see an increase in local government aid. That's a good thing. The tax bill that passed last year but got vetoed because of the significant errors in it had a number of other good measures in it, and so I hope we revive that. The governor just turned in a proposed tax bill that had a lot of those elements: the working family tax credit, credit for child care, which is really expensive for folks, student tuition relief, was an important element. Teachers who spend a lot of their own money to provide classroom improvements, some relief for them. Really important, I think, to strike the right balance that we're supporting reform in our overall tax system to the degree that we can, but also make sure that we're ensuring our tax system is progressive, is fair, is getting to working people, students, families who are trying to get ahead. And so it's a good bill. Most of us voted for it last year. It had those pretty significant errors because it was rushed. And I think if we get back to that bill, we'll be in good shape.
Representative Hausman, taxes?
It was a strong bipartisan vote, I think, in both the House and the Senate, because it had that diversity of relief for a wide variety. And as you point out, LGA does take the stress off the property tax, because that is an unfair tax, not based on your ability to pay, but where you happen to have bought your house and did it appreciate in value or not. And so I think Senator Dibble has described that well.
Senator Limmer, any thoughts on?
I don't know if I can add too much to the conversation. Local government aid was created to recognize the need in smaller communities that just didn't have the tax base to provide some of the more basic infrastructure qualities. And they have, over time, become reliant, and in perhaps some cases, it might be fair to say, over-reliant on it. But when it's removed, it becomes quite a problem for the local folks.